Big Bear was down 1.5% last week. It's up almost 50% in the last month and up 3% in the last 12 weeks. So this AI stock is trending up, but it does look as if it has hit resistance last week, trying to break through this key level of 880. So you may want to wait to enter this stock to get a good price. So in this video, I'm going to conduct a price analysis for Big Bear AI stock, offer my thoughts and opinions on where is a good place to buy this stock. Let's take a look. I'd like to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/DavidB for the 5 best stocks to buy now. Use my special link to get $200 off their epic annual subscription. Now, if you find value in my analysis of Big Bear AI stock today, or other stocks on my channel, you may also find value in my email newsletter. If you subscribe, I'll share with you professional trading tips to help you make more profits trading stocks. Link down below, check it out. So last week, Big Bear was down 1.5%. We can see on screen, looking at the weekly chart, it opened around about 726. Buys came in, it did trade up to test this key level of 880, but it was rejected. And it ended up closing back down where it started. Just confirming there is a lot of selling pressure around this level here. And you can see it has tested this level before. Back in these weeks here during June and the start of July, Big Bear did trade back and forth, attempting to break through this key level, but it was rejected on a number of occasions. It moved up to 880, got rejected, and then it did trade down to find support at around about $6. So clearly we can see $6, 880, 2 key levels for Big Bear. And you can trade it in between these price levels. That is possible. Since the peak back here during July, Big Bear has been sold off somewhat, and it did find support around about 465. Before, in the last 4 to 5 weeks, it has pushed back up, testing this level once again. And as I mentioned, it was rejected last week. But overall, Big Bear AI stock is trending up over the medium term. We can see since it was sold off following this peak of 1040 back in February 2025, it did get sold off, it did move down, it did find support eventually at this key point here, $2.35. Since that time in April 2025, Big Bear has began a medium-term uptrend. Steady at first, and then it did have this big breakout during the 3rd week of June. There was 2 big green bars during June, a bullish breakout, and then selling pressure on that 3rd week following the breakout to create that peak here. It did get sold off there after going back and forth, and eventually it's found support at about this key level of 465, and it has been moving up in the last 4 weeks. So now that Big Bear AI stock has hit this key level once again and been rejected, where could price move in the next few weeks? Based on the overall trend, it does look as if now Big Bear could come back to test this key level of $6, corresponding with the trend. We can see since this low down here, Big Bear has trended up to create this peak. It did pull back into this higher base around about $4.65 before price moved back up again to test this peak. There was a slight pullback here, but ultimately it's moved up once again to test this peak. And now it's possible that it's going to have a bit of selling pressure over the next few weeks and come back to test either this level here, around about 680, and it falls through 680, it might come back to test $6 corresponding to the trend line. And then, if Big Bear finds support around about that key level, it then will push off, move up once again to test 880. And over the medium term, if it can break through and buyers are committed, it's more than likely going to move up and test this key level up here, around about $10.40. So that's one possible scenario. The other scenario is that Big Bear just reverses next week and we see a really bullish bar next week. It closes the other side of 880, and that would be a confirmation to enter and then trade this stock up to 1040. So Couple of options: wait to enter around about $6, trade the reversal. If it closes next week above this level here, let's say it closes at $9, that would be a convincing trigger that the buyers are committed, and then you could trade up to $10 and beyond. So in the first scenario, if Big Bear pulls back into $6 support, you could trade the reversal. And targeting this next level up here using a 22% stop loss, using this trough as your exit, that would give you a ratio of 2.11. Now, 22% is a big stop loss. So this is a high risk stock. In theory, you shouldn't be using a lot of your total trading capital because it is high risk, but it is high rewards. You've got to be careful. I think you do need over 20% swing because of the volatility of this stock. Whenever a stock is this volatile, it does present a bit of a conundrum as a trader because you have to risk a lot to try and find out whether you can gain that reward. A risk to reward of 2 is acceptable, but be careful you're not giving away too much of your total capital. It may be wise just to put in maybe 5% of your total capital in this one stock, because remember, it's not profitable, it is volatile, it is high risk. Some traders use this type of stock to trade because they enjoy trading, but it's not one that you want to put a lot of capital in because of the high risk nature of the stock. Having said this, if you were to trade the reversal, there is about 46% upside to this target here. And of course, if it breaks through, you could hold the trade a bit longer and then target 73% upside to $10.30. Now, the other option is you wait for more confirmation, you wait for price to break above this level here and perhaps look at entering at $9. You could put your stop probably around about 15%, somewhere around about 780, and then target that level up there. Only a 15% profit on offer, but it might be a lower risk trade because you're going to have that confirmation that once that weekly bar closes above this level, it will show the buyers are committed, and the probability is that price will keep moving up towards that next level of resistance, towards this level here. And of course, if I zoom out, you can see beyond 1040, the next level there would be this peak over here, which is around about $16. And we know Big Bear can move fast. If enough buyers get behind it, this stock can move fast. We know that from multiple weeks. Huge week here back in January 2023. Huge week there as well. Huge week here, February 24. And more recently, a massive week in February. So we know when Big Bear starts to move, it can move fast. For example, this week here was almost 50%. But don't forget, it can move 50% in the wrong direction as well. So you've got to be careful with this stock. So overall, Big Bear is trending up steadily. It did hit resistance last week at 880. And that does look as if it's a key level of resistance for this AI stock. So, a couple of options: trade the reversal from 6 back up to 880, or wait for confirmation that the buyers are committed. Price closes above this key level here, and then take it up to 1030. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you trading Big Bear AI stock now? Are you going to wait for a $6 entry? Or maybe you've got other rules. If you have, please let me know what they are. Keen to learn from you as well. Thanks for watching.